Ted Kirkpatrick with Tourniquet here. I've been getting a lot of questions recently about drumhead selection since I made the move over to Evans. And so I'll give you a rundown of the kit here, and let's start with a snare. Seems to be what most people want to know, specifically what I'm using on the snare. I've got on the main snare here the Evans Power Center reverse dot coated, and I really like the sound of that. It's concentrated, it's got a real punchy attack, but not too boomy and not too much reverberation and vibrations going on, so that you can do a lot of intricate things on it but still get that power and punch if you need it just for the basic 1/4. So then I'm also using on the snare the Genera coated, and I like the sound of that a lot as well. And then sometimes I use the Genera HD as well. So there's 3 choices on the snare. I'm kind of using them interchangeably to get a little bit different sound. I've also got a 12-inch snare over here, and I use the Genera G1 coated on that, and that gives it a nice bright sound, concentrated sound, and powerful as well. So that's what's going on with the snare. Let's move on to the toms. I've got the 8, 10, 12, 14 rack toms and the 16 on the floor. And on the top I'm using the Evans G2 clear, and on the bottom the Evans G1 clear. And that's on all of them, including the floor tom. And I'm staring at my DW drums here, and inside the 8-inch here it's got an F sharp. Inside the 10-inch it's got an A. Inside the 12-inch it's got an E flat. And inside the 14-inch it's got a B flat. And the funny thing is, this wood of these drums, of course DW are very high quality drums, and the wood in there is made to resonate at a specific tension of the heads. And if you try to crank the head up too tight, or you have it too loose, or you have the wrong or maybe a cheap head on there, you're not going to get the sound out of that drum that that drum is made for. So I have to say, I have never in my life had an easier time tuning drums to bring out those notes in the toms than I have with these Evans G2 on the top and G1 on the bottom. It's just been really terrific for that. Then down to the rotos here, I'm using the Power Center heads for that. They seem to work out really well, and just right out of the box they give you a great sound. So that's the rundown on the toms. Last but not least, let's move on to the kick drums. I've got the Evans, the EMAD 2 clear, incredible punch from that, and very concentrated sound, loud, powerful, but again not so boomy that when you're trying to do intricate things with the double kicks that you kind of lose that and you just hear kind of a big blur. There's none of that going on. So, and then on the front side I've got the EQ3, and those sound really terrific too. Once again, this is very, very easy to set up right out of the box, and will give you great sound. So these are the heads, the configuration that I use for the In the Shadow of the Masters, my solo drumming to classical music CD. And these are also the same heads I used on the upcoming Tourniquet album coming your way in 2012. And a lot of people have been asking about the heads I use for the new Tourniquet album. You'll be hearing those soon enough. So thanks to Evans, and hope you get a chance to try them out, and I hope that answers your questions. I thought I'd give you a look at the back of the kit here from my perspective. Here's the 12-inch snare with the Genera G1 coated. And then we come over here to the first 2 rack toms, the 8 and the 10. And we've got the G2 clears on the top and the G1 on the bottom. And same thing here, we go down to the 12 and 14-inch toms, same dealio. Down to the floor tom, same thing here. And then we come up to the rotos here, and we've got the Power Center Evans heads on there. And down to the kicks, we've got on the back side here the EMAD 2. And same thing over here on the right kick. And then on the front side of the kicks, which you can't see, we've got the EQ3 on the front. Let's do another one.